Watch Core TV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to Core TV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click Core TV, leave a space, then news. Core TV News, a 24-hour news station.
Glad to have you join us on Core Digest Extra. We're back here now. And of course, it's a discussion segment. We'll take a look at the state of the nation ahead of the general elections. Of course, reactions are trailing the presidential media chat, of course, the postponement and a whole lot of issues within the polity. And joining us to talk about this is a Honorable BAMIDELE FAPARUSI, member of the House of Representatives, Ekiti South Federal Constituency 2. Thank you for joining us in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's good to be here.
Well, I thought you were going to be looking, both Valentine and, of course, the mood of the election, though it's been postponed.
Yes, unfortunately, the government has changed the mood, so we're trying to relax now. The postponement has actually affected so many things, including the Valentine itself.
Interesting. Okay, but of course you're looking great anyway. With even though you are not on red and white as expected.
Thank you.
Just like me, that I'm of course a touch of a bit of
close to red.
Thank you for joining us, Honorable.
Thank you.
Let's take a look at some issues surrounding the postponement. Are you comfortable with the postponement of the election?
No rational and genuine politician will be comfortable with the postponement. A week to the election, you will not be comfortable with that kind of postponement because INEC actually fixed the date almost a year before February 14th. And we are all prepared. We'll be spending money campaigning, touring the constituency, for the presidency, touring the states, and just for under flimsy and unjustifiable excuse, one party, manipulated and arm twist INEC to postpone the election is not a comfortable outcome.
So what you are saying is that the shift is not just an ordinary shift. It was manipulated. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it is evidence that it was manipulated. Before the postponement, Colonel Dasuki, the man in charge of the NSA in London, make a call for INEC to postpone the election on the ground that not many people have received their PVC card. I mean, that was his own justification. That was where we begin to smell rat that these people are up to something. Until last minute when the PVC card game could not fly, because people that have collected their PVC card now, up to now, they are more than the total people who voted in 2011.
Okay.
People that have collected their PVC as of today, they are more than people who actually voted in 2011. So, I mean, there's no justification. Like in the Ekiti election, people that have collected their PVC now are more than people who collected their PVC in Ekiti. And the election, the governorship election was held. Ditto for Osun State. So, it's not possible for every voter to collect their PVC. You cannot force people to go and collect their PVC. You can only urge them, you can only appeal to them. And even if they collect their PVC, you cannot force them to come out to vote. It is a voluntary social responsibility on the part of the citizens. So after playing that card, the card could not fly, and they switched to insecurity as a plot to shift. So you can see that PDP as a party needed that shift. They could not, they need to get out of the kitchen. They could no longer stand the heat, at that time. And they need to give themselves a breathing space. Maybe they can still fathom how to solve the Buhariism that is in the here, and they can solve the problem.
Just like you said, PDP cited security reasons. Do you think it would have been advisable for INEC to go ahead without having the back, back of the,
you cannot have a
security
you cannot have a
national?
You can never have a perfect security for an election.
Okay.
You cannot have you can never have a perfect security for an election. The Constitution of the Electoral Act mandated the police to provide security for INEC during an election. Military was not part of it. Military was just an accessory, just to complement the effort of the Nigeria police. And Nigeria police said they were ready.
Okay.
INEC said they were ready. The military said they were not ready. And the Constitution does not give military that responsibility anyway to decide. But they were able to, they were successful in blackmailing INEC because it was sheer blackmail for them to say that you cannot guarantee the security of your personnel, cannot guarantee the security of voters if you go ahead with the election. That means they can even create problem during the election and say, we have told you. So okay. INEC was twisted. And to me, they don't have a choice. But I must commend INEC, especially Professor Jega, for standing firm. He said in Hoha that I am ready. Even in his report, in his statement, he said, INEC, we are ready. But the security report was not favorable. So it's a vote of confidence on Jega and vote of no confidence on security agencies.
Okay, but with this postponement, a lot of political parties are really taking advantage of it. In Oyo, a party like Accord is saying that with the postponement, of course, their members have gotten their permanent. We had more members from their own party have gotten their permanent. Are you saying that your party is not taking advantage of this to really put a final touches on all of their preparation before the election?
My party, APC, we are battle ready for February 14th election. I was battle ready for February 14th election. It's like a student celebrating postponement of an exam. It has shown that the student was not prepared for the exam. It shows the laziness on the part of such students. The same thing, it shows the laziness on part of people that are celebrating the postponement. Because a year is enough for you to prepare for an election, for goodness sake. I don't know what you have not done in a year that you now want to do in 6 weeks. So, anytime, APC, we already prepared, we already laid solid foundation to win this forthcoming election, both at the federal level and across the country. We are already prepared. We've mapped out a strategy. We've sensitized people. I mean, APC is the only party that has been campaigning for people to go and collect their PVC cards. Most other parties don't care about such. So when they are now complaining that their supporters have not collected their PVCs, this and that, it shows that they are lazy and they are not prepared for the election. And they are now using that to draw us back. I mean, this is how they have been drawing Nigerians back in the past 16 years. And Nigerians we should not continue to tolerate them.
Well, let's also look at the fact that, of course, this election has been postponed. We all know in the presidential media charts, of course, the president is sure of a credible, fair election. Like he was referring to 2011, we had the same case in 2011. And this time around, our reason for postponement, or we support the postponement, and election is going to be credible. Do you believe that with the postponement of the election, don't you think that this is a sign that it's going to be a credible and more free election?
We can only pray for that is desirable. We can only pray for it. But indicators on ground does not show that something like that is likely going to happen.
No,
because
why
2011 and 2015, they are different ball game. You can see that President Jonathan was not as this desperate in 2011. Was not this desperate. Well, you can see the desperacy in 2015. So, two different personalities.
All right.
Now, 2011, it was not this desperate. Now you can see the desperacy in everything that they have been doing. So the international community are watching. The whole world are watching. Nigerians are more better informed now, to know that there is in for them to actually protect their vote. The credibility of the election also lies in the hands of voters also, to ensure that their votes are counted and they stand by the result that comes out of their units and mobilize themselves to the wards to ensure that the collation was properly done at the ward level, and mobilize themselves to local government and ensure that the collation was properly done at local government level, ditto along the line. So it will be prosperity will judge Mr. President right, irrespective of the pressure he also receiving from the vultures that surrounds him. The prosperity will judge him right if he's able to conduct a free, fair, and credible election. But indication on ground does not really portend that such will happen.
What are some of the indications on ground that you are seeing that makes you
militarization?
The election might
militarization. Yes, the indication has shown that military is going to play a very major role. Military, the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Air Force, the military, they are going to play a very prominent role to decide where the balance will tint. Okay. Otherwise, what do you need military? Why would military, determine when we are going to have election in this country? Election is a civic activity. It is not a military activity. So it has shown that. Look at Ekiti Gate. I'm sure you are aware of Ekiti Gate. The same way they are planning the same thing, using the military to intimidate oppositions. Just recently, Ashwaju Tinubu is being laid under siege by the military, and they call it routine patrol. I've not seen them in my area anyway. The routine patrol does not get to my area. Why is it that on body lawn? Why is it that opposite, adjacent Ashwaju Tinubu's, that's where the patrol, the routine patrol take place. So it has shown that the military want to be used to intimidate opposition leaders, and you can't call under that scenario. You can't have a credible election under that scenario because the ground is no more level.
But even, of course, the military or the IGP has said that just like what they had, the situation we had in Ekiti and in Osun, that we may not have that in 2015 because there might not be that enough personnel to gather them in one place, just like what you had in Osun.
Please
do you
them,
think that might happen again?
They need to hear you very clearly that the strategy will not work. They need to hear you very clearly. They are planning it, but it will not work. They are planning it that they will mobilize such forces to opposition strongholds. But unfortunately, the stronghold of APC is almost everywhere now.
But with what we had in Osun, we had in Ekiti.
Yes.
We had in Ekiti first.
Yes.
We have the militarization in Osun, but they played in favor of APC. Don't you think, are you not satisfied with the level of the security in Osun election?
No, because it was, you heard the revelation, because it was frustrated.
Okay.
The plan was linked. So it was frustrated. Otherwise, it will have gone the same way with Ekiti. So because this captain was able to inform APC leaders of what they did in Ekiti, and Oshubi were able to guide against and prevent it, mobilize themselves, force for force, using people's force, not armed forces, using people's force to confront the military, and they succumbed. Okay. And the people were able to have their way.
Okay, but then your party said that there is enough evidence on ground. Do you think this audio rigging in Ekiti, do you think is enough evidence really to really prove that the election in Ekiti was rigged with the use of military?
To us, it is a credible revelation.
Okay.
To them, they will dispute it. And it's normal if they dispute it. But you cannot, when you hear Fayose speak, when you hear him speak, you will know if he's speaking that if he was speaking. When you hear Obanekoro speak, you will know That is the one speaking. The audio revelation was so authentic, was so authentic and original in its sense, that every rational human being listening to it will know that this is authentic, and we want to believe all that has been revealed, and we are going to take it very seriously, so that such will not repeat itself. And those people who have sworn to the Constitution to protect the Constitution of this country, who are engaging themselves in such acts, should be punished.
Okay.
Yes, they should be punished because they are working against the system. They should be punished.
Okay, let's go to talk a little bit about the presidential media chart.
Yeah.
Of course, after that, a lot of reactions, even from your party, they're not quite satisfied with the way the whole briefing went. Do you think the president was not convincing enough in his presidential media chart?
Not on all matters.
Okay.
He tried as much as possible to disabuse the minds of Nigerians on May 29 being sacrosanct. He tried as much as possible to explain himself on the statement stealing is not corruption. And but to me, it's below average performance, because there are questions that was not properly answered. Take for instance, Mr. President was asked the fate of the Chibok girls, and he told us that now that the neighboring countries are now cooperating, that you should give them time, that the girls should be released. I mean, now that, so our fate is now in the hands of other countries. That's a sign of failure. If the life or property of your citizen now depend on the activity and action of neighboring countries, then you have failed.
Okay.
That's number one. Then number two, for Mr. President to come out and say that he was not informed about the postponement, that he was hearing it like every other Nigerians were hearing it. I mean, I don't want to say it's a lie, you know, but it's not true. It's not true. Because we have been hearing the rumors here and there. The rumors have been flying around before it now comes out to be fact. So Mr. President said he too was hearing it like every other Nigerian, that it was not carried along, that is between the military and INEC. How will you believe that, Commander-in-Chief, in a matter of this serious, in an election that he himself is involved in? So those two issues are actually picked out, and I felt that Mr. President should have done better. But
on the Chibok girls, even though the president is saying that now that the international community have come in, don't you think that it needs a cooperation of the neighboring countries like Chad, Cameroon, Niger, because these are some of the countries that this sect are really using or plying? When they strike, they run back. Don't you think we need their cooperation really to really nip this insurgency in the bud?
Now that the security agencies have admitted failure, we need them. Now that they have admitted failure.
Okay, have they admitted failure?
They have admitted failure. They have admitted failure. Now that they have admitted failure, then we need them. Otherwise, well, we should be able to protect our territorial integrity.
All right.
We have boundaries. Now you have Chadian soldiers operating in our territory unhindered, coming into our territory to fight Boko Haram. It shouldn't get to that. If in a normal scenario, they should stay within their own border, so that Boko Haram will not be able to infiltrate, go in and out of their territory.
All right.
But that is not what we are having now. What we are having now is that the Chadian soldiers, the Cameroonian soldiers, they are even coming into our territory. So they can as well even take control of our territory and say, this is now part of our country. That means if we are in the war with them, they can actually come in, take our territory and say, this is what we expect our military to do, is seeking their cooperations and say, don't allow them to infiltrate, to come in from your country. When they are going, you can attack them. But we should take charge of our own territory. But just as I said, the military have said they have admitted failure. They have tried it for over 5-6 years. They couldn't go on offense. But now that the China soldiers are going on offense, they can now hide under what do you call it now? Coalition force.
Okay, the coalition force.
Yes, to actually defeat Boko Haram. We pray Boko Haram is defeated.
Okay, well, let me just hold you there now. Let's take a break now. When we come back, of course, the phone line will be open, and the Honorable BAMIDELE FAPARUSI, a member of the House of Representatives, is still in the studio, and we'll be talking more. Let's take a break. We'll be back with more.
It's another beautiful and exciting moment.
Welcome to Political Arena, the most detailed and incisive political show.
You will see all sorts of politicians, even those who cannot manage their homes. We tell you to let them manage your lives. Look well, shine your eyes.
So stomach infrastructure is a way of life. Even if I cannot do anything, and I continue to help your stomach so that your life will keep on going. Stomach infrastructure is a way of life for me.
I should ask you, what is going right in this country? Is it education? Is it security? Infrastructure? Is it healthcare? What is going right? Absolutely nothing.
We mean to win Lagos. PDP is going to win Lagos in 2015.
INEC has colluded with the presidency, the opposing party, to rig this election from the data to the end.
The 2015 general elections must be the best.
The good, bad, ugly, and beautiful sides of the Nigerian political system. Join me every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. on Core TV News.
Core TV News, expanding your view.
BAMIDELE FAPARUSI, member of the House of Representatives, is in the studio with me, and we're discussing state of the nation ahead of the general election, which has been postponed to March 28 and April 11. You can join in the conversation now and call in to make your contribution. The phone line will be on the screen for you to see. Well, thank you for being there, Honorable. But let's now move away from some issues now and move away from Ekiti, and where, of course, where you're doing a great job. You and some of your members are also doing a great job. But let's take a look at the new government in Ekiti at the moment. I'm sure your party have criticized the style of leadership of Governor Fayose over time. With what is happening there now, are you quite comfortable? Are you not comfortable that the level of development accepted and testified by people of Ekiti? Are you not satisfied with that?
Development under Fayose?
Under Fayose.
No, there's no development under Fayose. What we're having now is propaganda, government based on propaganda. I mean, there's no development. Nothing is happening in Ekiti.
Why did you say so? Even when people, some of the indigenous of Ekiti are coming out,
whatever development you have,
and they are testifying about what he's doing with his new initiative and policies.
What's like initiative like? It doesn't have initiative. It doesn't have policy. I mean, maybe he has initiative, stomach infrastructure, but outside of that, there's no other initiative. And the so-called stomach infrastructure is all about one module of rice and a small chicken during Christmas. That's all about stomach infrastructure. Outside of that, I've not really seen anything. I'm just being factual here. I'm trying to be very objective and sincere here. I always been in Ekiti. I'm from Ekiti. I do politics in Ekiti. I've not seen anything tangible that he has done in this. I mean, he has spent 100 days in office. and we expect a lot of commissioning of projects. You see governments commissioning projects for 100 days in office. Not a single project has been commissioned.
But I recall that there was a project commissioned, just one project commissioned earlier this year, but I can't really remember the particular project now, especially when it's signed bill and some went into education, some went into paying the services and of the civil servant, and some other issues.
You can't go pay your staff's salary. I mean, the salary must be paid. They are government staffs. So you don't call that an achievement that you pay the salary of your staffs. You don't call it an achievement. It must be paid.
But before he came there, we learned that the civil servants are being owed.
Just a month. The civil servants were owed September salary. And the allocation has not come. Normally, what the government of FAMI normally does was to borrow money from the bank to pay civil servant salary while waiting the federal allocation to now pay the bank, to now pay back the bank loan. But a month to the expiration of FAMI's tenure, FAPARUSI has written all the banks that they should not oblige such loan. So there is no way FAMI will have paid. FAMI did not hold staff for good 4 years, except September salary. And after I left, the allocation came. We expect FAPARUSI to pay for that September salary because the allocation for September has now come after FAMI left office in October.
All right.
But up to now, he has not paid that September salary, and the September allocation has been received by the state government. So what I'm trying to say here is that Mr. FAPARUSI has not settled down for governance yet. As I speak to you now, he has not settled down for governance yet.
Why did you say so, sir? Is it because of some of these issues you cited?
Yes, some of these issues and more. Ekiti has become insecure now, unlike before. In Ekiti now, you can't sleep with your 2 eyes closed now, unlike before. There are thugs roaming the streets, unlike before. We thought we have gone past this stage in Ekiti. But now, thug is on the rising now in Ekiti. We are breeding thugs now in Ekiti. And you don't call that governance. Yeah. You don't even call that stomach infrastructure. Yeah. It should be an aberration to a civil society like us in Ekiti. So there is no. So when you're talking about performance, I don't see any. He has not settled down for governance.
Okay, Honorable, let me quickly take this call. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. This is Peter from Abuja.
Yeah, Peter from Abuja, good morning. Welcome to Call Digest Extra. Go ahead.
Thank you. Good morning, gentlemen there.
Good morning.
I'm happy listening to you this morning.
Good morning.
I see this thing through your screen saying in Niger, Boko Haram were being defeated. I mean, I find it very hard that a country like Niger will be killing Boko Haram, and Nigeria, we can't do anything to Boko Haram. That means insiders have great hand in this thing. We need change. That is just it. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Peter, for your contribution. Now, you were talking about, of course, you talk about stomach infrastructure earlier. But I guess that is his own style of leadership.
You don't call that leadership.
What are you not?
You call it deceptive
governance.
What is
wrong about?
That is deceptive governance.
What is wrong about stomach infrastructure policy?
Stomach infrastructure is an insult on Ekiti people.
Okay.
It's an insult. It's deceptive governance. It's an insult. You don't say going on the street, throwing 100 in the air and asking people to scramble for it. You call that stomach infrastructure. You want to compare that to giving the 5,000 naira monthly given to elderlies. You want to compare it with somebody going to the street marketplace, throw money in the air and ask and people scrambling for it. You want to call that stomach infrastructure. You know, that's not what we expect a good government to do, is to create an enabling environment for people to thrive. It's create an environment for people to thrive. The people are hardworking people. Okay. We are people of integrity, but we are being subjected to the so-called stomach infrastructure. It's an insult on our psyche.
Okay, Honorable, does it bother you that, with all of these issues we've cited, does it bother you that the more the government of Faparusi is being criticized, it seems that the more he becomes popular and people love him more for what he's doing?
Go to Ekiti now. The Okada people that he has been using to claim the so-called popularity, they are not with him any longer. They have seen that he's deceiving them.
Okay.
They have seen that this is deceiving. See, he's a master deceptor. If you're very close to him, he's at his best when it comes to deceiving people. So I will not blame people that have been deceived.
Okay. I want to ask a question, but because a lot of people say this is the will of the people when Governor Faparusi emerged governor. And people say this is the way, this is what Ekiti people need. We voted in him and want him our governor. But I'll ask a question. Let's take this call and come back. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Call Digest Extra. Hello? I guess we lost him there. The question is this, with this now, do you think Ekiti people may want to rise up against the governor they have chosen to govern them?
You see, it's still contestable.
Okay.
That Ekiti people actually voted for Faparusi massively, the way the results shown, 16-0.
Okay.
Now that we are seeing some revelations, how manipulation took place, we are yet to get to the depth of it. It's just a scratch on the head. The extent at which people go to gain power, fraudulently gain power. We are just scratching it. The revelation that the military was used is just part of the plot of winning at all cost.
Let's quickly pick up this call. Let me hold you there.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Who is calling and where are you calling from?
Speaking from Ado.
Hello?
Speaking from Ado.
Hello, Kayode speaking from Ado.
Yeah, Kayode from Ado. Go ahead with your contribution.
Really, I am enjoying your program very well.
Thank you very much.
Very well. And if the study change is supposed to move to the federal level now. You see what is happening in our school now? I mean, it is this now. You the start of the parliament on the factory. We want transparency, and you see what is happening. You will put up a how is being gathered by is different from that of Faparusi. So we have experienced Faparusi now. And we know, I will not say that it is regretted in breaking Faparusi in. But let us wait and see. It is we that voted for Faparusi. And let us see for the next 4 years of Faparusi and see what is going to be brought up. You see now people are suffering. People are still messing up. According to what the speaker is saying, there are talks everywhere. There are talks in the street. There are problems in the street. Then we will see. We thank God that we have experienced what we are experiencing in Ekiti now. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Kayode from Ado. Thank you for giving us.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
You want to react to that?
No, it has just confirmed what I said. That people have been able to compare the two, and within the span of 3 months, they have seen that it's like this one apart is like north to the south. You know,
in your constituency, which is Ekiti South, Ekiti East, as we round up now, I've read in the paper that some people said you have done very well, and some said you have not done very well. Is it the case of PDP versus the PDP now?
No, it's normal. You are not. There's no perfect human being, and you can't have perfect politician.
All right.
I've tried my possible best within limited available opportunities to me. I've tried my best to impact my constituency positively. And I'm sure the majority of people in my constituents, are appreciative of this. And that was why I was able to win my primaries, landslides. And going to election, the massive support I've been receiving from my constituents is quite very encouraging. And that spurs me on to move forward. And for people that are not satisfied with my performance, I want to assure them that I'll do better going there second time.
Just before we go, Honorable, what is your pattern? What do you see playing out in the coming election?
Yes, pattern, I want to first and foremost encourage the youth across the length and breadth of this country to take the future into their hands, because they are the future of this country. They should be very active, not passive now. They should engage very seriously, because whosoever leads there will determine their future, will determine the future of their unborn child. So the 2015 election is for the youth. I want them to come out. I want them to take the bull by the horn. I want them to be very vigilant and ensure that their vote counts. And secondly, I don't also want them to sell their vote. There's no amount of money that you'll be giving that can sustain you for 4 years. There's no amount of money that you can be given on the election day to induce you to vote for a wrong candidate that is not your choice, that will sustain you for 4 years. There's no amount of, even if you like, let them give you 1 million, it will not sustain you for 4 years. So we expect our youth and everybody at large to vote for free. That is the campaign I want to start now. We should vote for free. We should not be induced to vote for candidate that is not right, to vote for wrong candidate. We should never be induced. We should vote for free. Vote for free is the message now.
Vote for free. Thank you very much, Honorable. I want to thank you for coming on Call Digest this morning. Well, BAMIDELE FAPARUSI is an APC member of the House of Representatives from Ekiti South Federal Constituency 2. Thank you for being part of the show this morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Well, we'll take a break now. When we come back, Call Digest Extra continues. Stay with us.
Has it been a difficult task for you to purchase exquisite, classic, durable and sturdy furniture that will last the test of time? Here is good news for you. Purchase high-quality furniture for your household, offices, hotels and schools at Prince Interior Furnishing and Furniture Company Limited. Office address, Goshen Plaza, Showroom 28, Kubo Furniture Market, AYA, Nyanya Road, Abuja. Telephone 0803 119 1444 or 09291 7482. Email princeemeka240@yahoo.com, info@princeinterior.com, website www.princeinterior.com. Purchase your furniture at Prince Interior Furnishing and Furniture Company Limited. Classic, strong, exquisite.
The man on the streets have come to realize that the power to make decisions lies in the hands of the people.
The president is the most guided person in Nigeria. And men getting to him is like, we all know it's a political propaganda, so I don't believe what he said is true.
But they are not just ordinary people.
Up to that time, when you look at Nigeria, Nigeria has been a confluence of a theater of anarchy, confusion, dichotomy, marginalization, and a lot of lamentations have been existing.
They are people of influence.
I'm not happy. How can my brother plan against me to kill me when you know that I'm in power to save you? I protected you to make things good for everybody in Nigeria. Not even I. Everybody in Nigeria.
And they are very, very important.
What we want now is who will salvage Nigeria. We are not interested in tribe or ethnicity or whatever. Who will save Nigeria?
The people. Only on Core TV News.
I'm not part of those who celebrate Valentine. I believe in love strongly, and our Lord Jesus Christ gave us the commandment. You know, in the book of John 13, verse 34, he said, "A new commandment have I given unto you, that we should love one another as I have loved you." And I believe every day of our lives we should, seize the opportunity to show love to our neighbors.
The month we show love to people for the less privileged. Visit them, show them love. It's not all about doing love with our spouse or what. You visit the less privileged, show them love.
The fans of Valentine,
I can't always see it because they are changing love to lust. When love becomes lust, it's meaningless.
I don't celebrate Valentine. Me, I don't celebrate it. But to others, it's like a season of love, where they share love and all that.
It's a moment of sharing love together with your loved one, taking your loved one out, meeting people on the street, go to orphanage home, share love with them. Those who do not have parents, just share love with them together.
I don't really have love for Valentine, but Jesus Christ loves us every day. That Valentine has no value. Love of Jesus Christ supersedes love of Valentine.
The symbol of Valentine to me is to show love to one another, according to the rule of the Bible, according to what God said in the Bible, that we should show love to one another.
My faith told me that it's the time we show love to each another, for one another. It must not be boyfriend and girlfriend.
Show love to probably your loved ones. Go to the motherless baby, the less privileged. Show them love.